Welcome to Small Monkey and Big Monkeys, where true corporate stories become timeless lessons in leadership, decision-making, workplace wisdom, and a little laughter from the corporate jungle. If you enjoy authentic corporate stories with practical life lessons, please like, share, subscribe, and join the troop. I am about to kiss the right part, with your permission. As a marketing manager at Autalis Dynamed India, Surya Devaya had completed about a year at HO. He was fairly successful at achieving a turnaround for two legacy brands which were showing a decline in units. He wasn't fully accepted by the corporate tribe, who looked upon him as a wild card in their race for the throne. Manisha Parmar, Assistant General Manager Marketing, was a well-entrenched member of the corporate tribe and armed with an MBA from Harvard. Manisha was in charge of Babes vitamin drops for babies, a legacy product of Autalis. Babes was in the declining phase for the previous 3 years. Smartly, she managed to palm off the burden of Babes to Surya. Surya adopted Babes with enthusiasm because his own kids had used Babes vitamin drops as infants. He had an emotional attachment to Babes, pronounced as babes. He was presenting a very simple plan based on market realities to the marketing team, which was more like a tribe with each one trying to be the headman. The presentation was for the purpose of convincing every member of the team. Many of them would be conducting strategy sessions during sales review meetings in various parts of India. Manisha had given up her Babes for adoption, but was liberal with advice to the adoptive parent. At a critical stage of the presentation, Manisha butted in with a cliché, KISS, or keep it simple, silly. That's when Surya said, I am about to KISS the right part. For a brief moment there was a stunned silence, while they were processing the dual meaning, and then a few of them started laughing. With a mischievous smile, Surya continued, now let's examine the right part. The right part for me is the gynecologist as a customer and not the pediatrician. There was a visible sigh of relief when they realized that Surya wasn't going to examine any embarrassing parts of the human anatomy. They could never be sure of a wild card from a different tribe. Manisha and her assistant were quick to point out that market survey reports say that pediatricians are the largest target segment. Surya had anticipated the response. Generally, most of the liquid formulations are for children who cannot or do not wish to swallow tablets. It is a very strong perception across the industry that only pediatricians prescribe drops and liquids. Surya had attended a few pediatric medical conferences where the speakers advised to avoid vitamin drops for infants. They quoted Nelson's textbook of pediatrics and a few articles from medical journals. Surya had trained himself to keenly observe as advised by his college professor, who would often say, observe, don't just look, you discover more. Surya had extended this habit to observing customer behavior, body language, and personality traits. It became the foundation of his success in sales and marketing. He had observed that every newborn baby was advised vitamin drops, especially for use at night, after the last breastfeeding but before sleeping. During informal discussions, both the gynecologist and the nursing staff indicated that it is useful for preventing fungus infections in the baby's mouth. They explained that the vitamin drops caused a lot of salivation, and the milk residue would be swallowed by the baby along with the vitamin drops. Surya had already decided to apply this almost secret usage of vitamin drops to boost the sales of Babes. The vitamin drops were used for at least about 6 months, and most of the doctors opined that it boosted immunity as well, especially if the drops contained zinc and vitamin C. Surya presented scientific data about the immunity aspect and overcame the skepticism of the group. The group was the first layer of internal customers. The plan was approved by the marketing director and the managing director. The strategy was implemented with enthusiasm and commitment from the sales team, who were the next level of internal customers. The tactical aspect involved making it available in the dispensing section of maternity home. Normally, a package of essentials is issued to the mother for use during and after delivery. The results were spectacular by industry standards because Babe's sales units had grown by 87% in a year. Yes, Surya had kept it very simple, by a KISS to the right part. Gradually, Surya was gaining acceptance in the corporate tribe, and many colleagues had started seeking his advice or concurrence on many aspects. The managing director once remarked that Surya had become the de facto leader of the group. Normally you see but you do not observe. The distinction is clear, says Arthur Conan Doyle. The amateur fights every battle. The strategist wins the war. Big Monk. Big Monk wisdom. The jungle never disappeared. It merely learned to wear a suit. If you like this story, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. To receive notifications, click on the bell icon. If you wish to share your story, please send an email to prsmonks@outlook.com or 11decibels@gmail.com. If this story reminded you of someone from your own workplace jungle, share this episode with them. See you next week on Small Monkey and Big Monkeys.